Hey everyone, back around the year 320 CE, something big happened in India, the beginning of the Gupta Empire. This wasn't just any ordinary kingdom. It became one of the most powerful and culturally rich empires in Indian history. It covered a huge part of northern and central India, and even stretched into some parts of the southern region. The Gupta Empire lasted for over 2 centuries, until about 550 CE. People often call this time India's Golden Age, because of the amazing progress in art, science, literature, architecture, and philosophy. Life was flourishing, and the whole country saw a boost in creativity and knowledge. It all started with a king named Chandragupta I, who rose to power in 320 CE. But the roots of this empire go back even further. His grandfather, Chandragupta, had already begun to build a small but strong kingdom around 240 CE, in a region called Magadha. This area is near modern-day Patna, and he may have also ruled parts of Bengal. Chandragupta laid the foundation, but it was Chandragupta I who truly brought the Gupta name into the spotlight. He had big dreams for his kingdom and a smart plan to grow it. One of the smartest things Chandragupta I did was marry Princess Kumaradevi from the Likhavi clan, a powerful family in the region. This marriage wasn't just about love. It brought him control over lands and valuable iron mines. Iron was super important because it was used to make strong weapons. The Gupta army became well equipped and very powerful. The iron was also traded with other places, which made the kingdom richer. With this strength and wealth, Chandragupta I was able to beat local rulers and grow his empire quickly. By the end of his rule, his kingdom had probably expanded all the way to Allahabad. His son, Samudragupta, took over the throne around 335 CE, and didn't waste any time. He was not only a great warrior, but also a brilliant thinker and leader. First, he took control of the remaining northern parts of India. Then, he looked south and led successful military campaigns there as well. By the time he was done, the Gupta Empire stretched from the Himalayas in the north to the Krishna and Godavari rivers in the south. It reached as far west as modern-day Afghanistan, and all the way east to the Brahmaputra River. But Samudragupta wasn't only focused on expanding the empire. He believed in ruling wisely and following the duties of a king, known as Rajdharma. He followed advice from an ancient book called the Arthashastra, which talked about how kings should rule their people fairly and wisely. He also gave large amounts of money to schools, temples, and charities. Samudragupta loved the arts too. He wrote poetry, played music, and even printed beautiful gold coins that showed scenes from his life. One famous stone pillar, known as the Allahabad Pillar, talks about his kind heart and how he supported people from all religions. He even helped the king of Sri Lanka build a Buddhist monastery in Bodh Gaya, showing his support for peace and understanding. After Samudragupta, his son Ramagupta became king, but things didn't go so well. A foreign king from the west wanted to take over, and demanded not only the land, but also Queen Draupadi, who was known for her wisdom and intelligence. To avoid a war, Ramagupta gave her up, hoping to keep peace. But his younger brother, Chandragupta II, didn't agree with this decision at all. Along with a few trusted friends, he disguised himself, sneaked into the enemy's camp, rescued the queen, and defeated the enemy king. Chandragupta II later married Draupadi and became the next ruler. Chandragupta II, also known as Vikramaditya, ruled from around 380 to 414 CE. He was brave, smart, and cared deeply about his people. He continued to expand the empire, this time focusing on the western coast of India. He defeated powerful enemies and added new regions to his empire, reaching all the way to the Arabian Sea. To make managing such a big empire easier, he set up a second capital in Ujjain, a major city in central India. He also strengthened the navy, making ports like Tamralipta and Supra very busy with trade and commerce. This helped bring in wealth and connect India with countries overseas. Chandragupta II was also a huge supporter of learning and the arts. He invited 9 of the smartest and most talented people of his time to his court. This group became known as the Navaratnas, or the 9 Gems. These people included famous poets, scholars, and scientists. Under his rule, hospitals were built, orphanages were opened, and travelers found rest houses along busy roads. His generosity and leadership helped the empire grow strong and peaceful. During his time, the Gupta Empire reached its highest point. And the success of the Gupta Empire wasn't only about winning battles or making great art. It was also about how smartly the empire was run. The rulers were clever and organized. They split their huge empire into smaller parts called pradeshas, or provinces. Then they chose local leaders to take care of each one. These leaders made sure everything worked well. The laws were fair, the courts were honest, and punishments were never too harsh. In fact, they didn't even have things like the death penalty or torture. A traveler named Fa Hien said the capital city, Pataliputra, was like a beautiful garden, and that people felt very safe there. He hardly ever heard of crimes like theft. The Gupta kings also knew when not to take on too much. For example, Samudragupta had conquered some areas in southern India, but he realized they were too far away to control properly. So, instead of ruling them directly, he let the local kings stay in power and just asked them to pay taxes. This was a smart way to keep peace and still benefit from the land. Life during the Gupta period was simple but happy. Most people had enough food and could afford the things they needed. They usually ate vegetarian food and didn't drink alcohol much. The economy was strong, and you could find gold and silver coins everywhere. This showed that trade was going really well. Traders sent things like silk, spices, gemstones, pearls, and steel to other countries by sea. Indian iron was so good that it didn't rust. The Iron Pillar in Delhi, which is still standing today and was built around 402 CE, proves how skilled Indian metalworkers were. India didn't just sell goods to other places, it also bought things from faraway lands. Africa sent ivory and tortoiseshell, while China and the Far East sent silk and special medicines. Inside India, people traded food, salt, spices, and gold. Roads connected villages, towns, and cities, making travel and business easier. The Gupta rulers thought it was important for people of different religions to live in peace. Even though they were Hindus who worshipped Vishnu, they respected Buddhists and Jains too. They gave money to build Buddhist monasteries and rest houses for monks. Fa Hien wrote about how monks were treated kindly. One of the most famous places for learning, Nalanda University, grew under their support. Jain communities also did well in places like Bengal and Gujarat, where they met often to share ideas. Learning and creativity were everywhere. Sanskrit became the main language for scholars. Famous writers like Kalidasa and Vishakadatta created plays and poems that are still admired today. Scientists like Aryabhatta explored the stars and numbers. Doctors knew how to do surgeries and even protect people from diseases. Schools and libraries welcomed anyone who wanted to learn things like literature, music, or debating. Art and buildings from this time were amazing. At places like Ajanta, Ellora, and Sarnath, you can still see beautiful cave paintings and sculptures. Artists used metal, stone, and wood to make incredible things like jewelry and statues. They also made fancy clothes and carvings from ivory. Musicians played instruments like the veena and flute in temples, and dancers told stories through their moves. But no empire lasts forever. After Chandragupta II passed away, his son Samudragupta I became king. He ruled well and kept enemies like the Pushyamitras away. Later, Samudragupta's son, Chandragupta, became king and fought off fierce invaders called the Huns. He also repaired important dams to help farmers. But after Chandragupta died around 467 CE, the next rulers weren't as strong. They argued a lot and couldn't protect the empire well. The Huns attacked again, and with so many problems inside the kingdom, the Gupta Empire slowly started to fall apart. By around 550 CE, this once great empire had come to an end.